Guys and girls, it's an obvious one. They are all around us all day long. Blinds in your property. And expert property manager Cleo is going to tell us about the cost, the versatility, and the durability of blinds in rental properties. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Cleo Witt here, expert
Good
property
morning.
manager. After 20 years of installing and rating blinds, cleanliness and looking after and stuff, you must be an expert.
Well, I do know all the names for the blinds, which is really weird because when you do an ingoing, I often get the young ones asking me, what kind of blind? You know, the ones that fold up like this or do this. And I'm like, well, that's a Roman blind, that's a vertical blind, that's a roller blind. Like it's just what we do. So they are, yeah, it's part of our everyday property management life, blinds.
All right. So we're going to blast through in this short segment the different types, the different costs, and your opinion on it because you're a professional on this. What's this one?
I can't even see. That looks like a roller blind to me, an up and down blind.
You failed.
What do you mean?
It's a sliding panel blind.
Oh, the sliding panel. Yes. So they're good for big balconies.
Yes.
They're great because tenants tend to leave doors open. So they're not going to flap around. You can section off parts of the door that you want open and still have block out on the sides. They are durable, but one thing that always breaks is the little pokey long stick that you use to pull them, and they always get broken off, and then tenants just end up having to use the actual fabric panel side, and then that gets discolored. That looks like a
The vertical blind.
sheer vertical, yeah. So they were huge in the 80s and 90s. So every new rental property, whenever you did it up, you put verticals in. They are very outdated now. Some people still like them. They kind of look like a home office. I don't know. I'm not a fan. And the tracks always get tangled up and the slats always come down. And then you end up with these blinds that have got gaps and holes over time because the slats come down. Now, when
So
the
they're not. They're a
tracks,
no.
they're a no-no. And the little clasp where the vertical slat attaches to, once that breaks, you have to replace the whole track. You can't just clip it back on or try and get that little plasticky thing. So not good in rental
Well,
properties.
the
Yeah.
sun fades them and they become brittle. That plastic thing, so snap.
Yeah. And if you got a
Then
big
we try to
balcony
blame the
door,
tenant.
and then, yeah, it's the tenant's fault. But yet with the doors, the flaps just go in and out of the door and they just get broken. It's not a good, they're not good.
No to verticals.
No, pardon.
The roller shade. The roller shade.
Roller shade, amazing. I love a roller blind, whether it's a blockout or a sheer or a shade, whatever you want to call it. There's so many different colors and styles of fabric that you can have. And they really do look, what's the word, minimal in a property, and they look great. They do everything that you need. An up and down function, sun out, sun in. They're my favorite besides one other.
And they've got no wait time. According to you this morning, you can get them in Bunnings on the spot, made to size. Is this true?
It is true. You get yourself a good handyman. You can get 4 new blinds in a rental property same day. It's a pretty much drive to Bunnings, drive back, get them installed, under $1,000, done and dusted. So good.
3 windows for $1,000, you reckon?
I think we did 2 bedrooms, 1 lounge, and you know that little one that usually covers the little balcony doors. And I think our handman did them for $890, something like that, installed. So
Installed.
yeah, installed same
Good on you,
day.
Bunnings.
Roman blinds.
Oh,
Oh,
the Roman blind. What a name. Who thought of this name? Great
and
name.
why they fold up and down? How is that Roman? I don't know.
Because
So
the Romans had those things they used to wear that were very, you know,
what the
like,
robe?
yeah.
I
It
get
was layered. It was layered like the robe.
Look, they look
Right?
nice,
Ah,
but what happens is when you have them folded up over time, they get mold in between the layers, especially when you've got mildew on a window,
thought of that.
condensation, and then you fold them down, and all of a sudden you got all this mold, or they discolor as well, and those panels, it's not a consistent shade as well. I had a property in Narrabeen where the tenant had Roman blinds and they broke, and then we installed just the normal roller blinds, and she took us to tribunal because the blind was not the same, and she was very passionate about the Roman blinds. And the
Oh, I
member,
tell you about the Roman blind that I like. It's a you can go edge to edge and it can block out a lot more sun.
yeah, it's a thick fabric. It's very
And
thick.
if you have a gap on the side of the window and you're trying to sleep, yeah, no good. So the Roman I think gives you a bit more total
Yeah.
cover of the window and light.
So if you're one of those people that has to sleep in a dark, dark dungeon room, my husband's like that. He's often put like a blanket over the top of the roller blind so it's black in the room. So there's not one slither of light, then that would work. I
The
can't remember
plantation shutter.
my favorite
The
of all the
plantation
blinds.
shutter. Who thought of that name and who thought of that? I think this has been going on for hundreds of years. And like, I think when I think of plantation, I think of like, you know, an island, like a Caribbean island with shutters and stuff. Like, you like this?
I love a plantation shutter. If you're on the
Really?
northern beaches and you love the Hamptons aesthetic of a house, you like
Yes.
white, grey, crisp beach.
Yes.
The plantation is everything. You can louver it to let light in. You can open them up if you need to. To dust them is really easy. You don't have to have wood. You can have plastic so it looks like wood, wipes
Expensive?
down. Yeah, they're expensive.
How
Yeah,
much would
you're
it
in.
cost for a sliding glass door?
Oh, a door for a plantation shutter, probably over 1,500, I would say.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah, and that's just
Um,
one.
but I've made this investment
Yes.
because I owned I bought a investment property 30 years ago, 28 years ago, and it had the you had to walk past the living room. Every unit in the block had to walk past the living room of my unit, which was and that unit I put plantation shutters all the way through. I got smashed with the cost, but guess what?
They're still there. They look new, and tenants love them, and they don't have dust like on the ground. They're up. They just look so good. They look so nice in a property. Like you said, for privacy as well on the outside, it just looks nicer with a plantation shutter. Like you think, oh, well, who's looking, who cares what it looks like from the outside? But a roller blind can look quite harsh from the outside of your property. A plantation blind looks really, really good. Tenants need to know how to care for them. Sometimes the panel or a slat can get broken, and it is an expensive replacement cost if you don't treat them with respect. But at the same time, yeah, they're probably my favorite out of all. Here's a fun fact though. You don't have to have blinds in every room in a rental property. It's only rooms that privacy it is considered essential, like a bathroom and bedrooms. So if you're a tenant and you view a property and there's no blinds in say for example the lounge, it's not, and there's blinds everywhere else, you can't really force an owner to put them in.
Hmm.
So yeah.
The zebra roller blind. The
Yeah.
zebra roller blind for flexible light control.
Yeah, see, I think that's just another new name for like the concertina blind. You remember like when you had the concertina doors and you had the concertina blind, so
We
or
haven't even
accordion.
Yeah, no, this one's the zebra's different. There's two sets, and they're
Right.
striped like a zebra. And when you close it in one fashion, it blocks out all the light, and then you can open it, and the zebra's lines are in line. It lets through half light. It's
Yeah,
a
that's like
zebra.
a hybrid car. It's a hybrid blind. I love it.
Um, window film, window
Ugly.
film.
Who would
Yeah,
put that
fugly.
on? Yuck.
Okay,
No.
but I want you guys to look at for bathrooms. Anyone
Yeah.
who's thinking today, a window film I think of just as opaque, but they are getting funky. So I've seen diamond shape, I've seen a houndstooth shape. They're getting a bit funky now, so keep an eye out for different colours, different patterns, and on a small window, not bad at all.
Yeah, and it's a cheap option to have the frosted film, definitely. Yeah.
And before we go, there's the granddaddy. There's the granddaddy.
What's that? Oh,
There-
the remote
There's
control.
the
Yes.
motorized shades.
Very
Very,
hotel room, very
very,
fancy.
very classy. You can fit them to the outside of the building or the inside of the building. They have a rail down the side. They do not let through any light. They will actually make a completely daylight filled room a midnight black room. Good for cinemas.
That's
Um,
so cinema, yeah. But the
yeah.
remote always goes missing. The tenants always lose the remote, and then you're like, how do I get another remote for the blinds? Or there's a mechanic, malfunction, and the blinds have stayed down for the whole week.
So don't do automated for rental property.
What about curtains? We didn't talk about curtains.
Before we
Curtains are
go,
out.
can we talk about curtains? Can we talk about curtains? Are they the cheapest option?
Yeah, you just put the rod up and then tenants have to bring their own. You don't get any more lazy than that. And so you just go to Spotlight and get an eyelet curtain or a
Yeah,
tab curtain,
yeah.
and that's it. Done and dusted. And you know what? The turnover each time, it might be $10 per curtain at Spotlight for a blockout curtain
Wow.
in a bedroom. Yeah,
So
but
what are
they're
you putting in
ugly.
your rental property
I have
after
blockout
all this?
rollers. Blockout rollers the
Okay.
most cost effective. And, 2 3 years, if you get out of them and the tenants, change over, get another set, easy peasy.
Thank you so much for your great, well-rounded property management 20-year experience advice
I'm blind. Yeah.
and blinds. And
Pleasure.
I look forward to you sharing this link with your landlords for many, many discussions in the future.
Have a great day, everyone. See you.
Thanks, Cleo. Cheers out.